Not everybody knows what goes into that glass of beer that's sitting at your table. Here at Woodson's local tap and kitchen, we have over 20 taps dedicated for Texas local beers. We get a lot of limited edition brews that most people will never get to try unless they actually come here. Every brewery has their own story, has their own unique background, and why they got into brewing. So it's a lot more about just pulling the tap handle, delivering that ice cold beer to your table. Here at Woodson's local tap and kitchen, we want to bring you Behind the Brew.
Saints are the guys who sing the loudest and they shove them in the back so everybody else can hear the preacher. And the sinners are the folk who were out drinking the night before when they shouldn't have been, and they usually leave. They get there late and they usually leave early to throw up. So the saints and sinners are sitting on the back pew. But everybody's welcome, just don't be an asshole. An old church turned into a brewery just fits with the back pew. I'm Bobby Harrell, owner, brewer, head of basically the C-suite of Back Pew Brewing Company. Beer is something I'm very passionate about. I love making it. I think we have unique product spin. And when I thought about going and spending that time for somebody else versus doing it for myself, I said, I think I'm going to spend my time for myself. And that's when I went out and did it. So what drives that passion is the want and ability to make unique product offerings that people really enjoy. So it's not that different than making food. When you make food for a bunch of people and you're really excited when they really enjoy it, that's the most jazzed up part you can get as a brewer, is when you put out product that people really love and then they get behind it. And I think that that's a big part of both the culture and what we do here, and that's a big part for me as a brewer as to why I continue to do it and make the beers that I make. The beer that we're brewing is called Lucy. It's a Hefeweizen, so that means it's going to have wheat in it, so it's kind of a bit of a roundness to the palate due to the extra protein. And so it creates a 4.5% beautiful, easy drinking Texas style Hefeweizen, so that you can drink it all day with a little bit more of that wheaty sweetness and a little bit of that spicy kind of top note. So the brewing process for us, we have 4 vessels. The first vessel is the mash mixer. That's where we convert the starches to the sugars, because the sugars are what the yeast eat. The second vessel is what we call the ladder tun. That's where we get all of those sugars off the grain without sending grain to the boil kettle, so that way we don't pull a lot of tannins. Very important vessel that has the most technology. The third vessel is the boil kettle. You can imagine what might happen there. You can tell that brewers name things after exactly what they do. You boil, add hops, and you get it ready for the final process, which is the whirlpool. That's where, after all those glorious hops have been added, you do not want to send them to the fermenter. Yeast and hops do not get along. Hops have a preserving agent in them. Once they've whirlpooled, and that means all those hops have gathered in the middle of the vessel, we take that beautiful sweet wort over through a chiller and into the fermenter where we pitch the yeast, and then you begin to make beer. So we send it through the centrifuge, get it so it's got a nice stable haze, keg it up, take it over to Woodson's, and then you guys get to drink it. So having a relationship with Woodson's is hugely important. People who support the kinds of things that we're doing are not as common as you might think. There are bars with a lot of taps. There are bars, especially large chains, that you see that maybe have some kind of curated tap system. But places like Woodson's, who are both, they are themselves local, but they're also interested in doing things that are a little bit more unique, such as having local craft beer that is unique, that is also delicious, that customers want to get behind, and are willing to be flexible in what they think about when they're purchasing, is very important, because it really lets what we're trying to do speak. If you're putting out solid product, they're going to believe in it, and if it sells, it'll work. I am confident in the beer that we make and that our customers will enjoy it.
There's so many good breweries here in Texas and in Houston that we have to constantly rotate our taps out, because we want everybody to taste them all. So people can come here and try something that they can't even get at the grocery store or anywhere else in town, because we have that great of a relationship with some of our local breweries.
When you're a restaurant, you're looking for things that get people in, right? And as a brewery, you're looking for things that get people to drink your beer. And both those things are interesting to both of us. So it creates beautiful harmony when everybody actually thinks of it that way.